Go. Hi guys, Max18363 here, and this is part 20, and this is the start of a kick-ass fight. Albeit kinda brief. Although it's not really specifically that fight I was talking about, as we're now about to have our first encounter with the Eve, as they're known in this game. I talked about it very briefly in a previous vid. They're basically just giant robotic things that fire rockets at you, and despite their cumbersome size, they're actually surprisingly nippy on their feet. You want to take down one of these things cleanly without taking too much damage, then it does take a little bit of preparation here. I tend to lay out a couple of mines, get a sticky bomb in place. There's also a multi-rocket launcher thing that you can use as well, so it takes a little bit of preparation. I mean, obviously, first time you ever play this game, or first time I played this game, I didn't know about it, but upon replays I've always prepared myself for it. That's the rocket launcher there. A good thing is though, there's plenty of items and stuff lying around that you can grab, plenty of grenades, medkits and so on, so be sure to stock up. And then when you're ready, you just go and activate the switch to bring down the lift, and that's when the Eve appears. They only really appear a few times in the game, but I don't think maybe 4 or 5 times maybe. So they're kind of like the ninja assassins. I mean, they're a slightly different enemy to fight, you know, it's a bit of variety, but they just don't really appear often enough. In my opinion, I think they could definitely have been put in a bit more, because they're quite fun to fight. You know, they tend to bring utter chaos to an area. You know, you can be going along the corridor being all tactical and checking your corners and doing all the rest of it, and then one of these big bastards just appears out of nowhere, and it's just pandemonium. It's great. So that's the switch there, and then run for your life. There he is. He's already triggered off 2 mines, and as you can see, he's already took a fair bit of damage. But then he stops just short of the sticky bomb. I was gutted. I was pure devastated by the way. So now comes the rocket launcher. Unleash some justice. Triggered off the sticky bomb. Couldn't detonate it. And yeah, he fires off a fair few rockets, so you want to stay out the way of that if you can. He always fires them off in big salvos and just shred you if you get caught in it. And that's him taken care of. But believe me, the first time I took that guy on, it was not as smoothly as that, believe me. I'm sure I got sent back to my last checkpoint because I just absolutely panicked when this thing came rolling down. I didn't know what to do. And he just handed me a new one, basically. Yeah. Okay, so now you go up in the lift that he came down. I don't think you can get back down once you're up there, so just make sure you grab everything that you need before you ascend. But no, the fun's not done yet. We've still got plenty of replicas to take down, and if you remember the turrets from the previous level, we get to turn one of the turrets on our side, kind of. We get to control one of them very, very briefly, and mow down probably a good dozen replicas. That's coming up soon. That's pretty good fun. Although it's actually surprisingly tricky, because obviously the replicas do shoot at the turret, they can take it down, and it only takes 2-3 shots to take out the turret. And it's actually surprisingly tricky to try and do it without getting the turret blown up. But it's also extremely unfair, because like I say, a couple of hits and they take your turret out, but when I was taking the turrets out in the previous level, oh my goodness, it was taking multiple bombs, entire clips from the shotgun. Oh, it was crazy.
Warning. Toxic substance detected. Emergency lockdown in effect.
One of my subscribers comments on my videos quite frequently. He pointed out something to me in the previous video, actually, that because a couple of the turrets, you know, they can be deactivated just by reaching a power switch, and he kind of pointed out that, you know, it's kind of funny that you can, you know, deactivate the power to the turrets, but the automated doors still seem to work just fine. I'll be honest, I hadn't actually thought of it that way, but it was a pretty good point. We just a minute back there, we picked up the particle rifle. That's just an awesome weapon.
You have 2 new messages. First message from Bill Moody. Hey Janice, it's Bill Moody. Ian Hyde sent me down to the South River treatment plant to do some wastewater analysis. I'm concerned about my findings since that effluent comes from residential areas. It may be originating in Auburn, which might actually explain a lot. I'm going to send you a copy of my report so you can make sure the proper people are informed. Next message from
Ian Hyde. Janice, yeah, it's Ian. Look, I wanted to give you a heads up that you might be getting a call from Bill. I think the best course of action would be for you to act like you give a shit about his concerns. I think all he really wants is to believe that someone in authority has taken the ball and running with it. I fucked up by pulling him off, so I'm guessing he'll run to you. Anyway, look, let me know how it works out.
end of messages.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's a Type 7 particle rifle. It's kind of like a Telsa type weapon.
This is interesting. When they pulled the plug on Origin, apparently they just locked the doors and threw away the key. They don't go into a lot of detail, but I guess the place is really dangerous to be in. What if there's some kind of chemical leak or something?
It's also the other scoped weapon in the game. Of course, there's only 2 weapons in the game that actually have scopes. The ASP rifle, which we've seen, kind of like a little assault scope attached, and the particle rifle, which actually has a pretty decent zoom on it, and kind of has a little distance readout as well, tells you how far away the target is that you're aiming at, which is, I suppose, a kind of nice touch. And it kind of just fires off like a sort of Telsa type thing, and one blast can take out a regular clone, one shot, bang. It just completely, nothing but a skeleton left. It's honestly, the first time I fired that thing off, my jaw dropped. It was like, So yeah, this is the turret section I was telling you about. You get to control this little bugger and take out some replicas. But check out how vulnerable this turret is, alright? They get fired into me. It's quite a few. I actually did not too bad. That only had one red light there. I must have been thinking of a previous attempt. I think the last time I attempted that bit I had like 2 bars letting up and it was really bleeping away there. I only took a couple of shots. So yeah, a brief bit of fun there. It's always a good idea to leave a mine there because they'll always try and flank you. I know I've said that several times in this walkthrough already, but no, they actually do come this time. The mine does detonate. For once. Quite a few goons to deal with in this office actually, there's quite a few of them. And there goes the mine, just like I said. Oh, look at that. Lovely new painting on the wall. Oh. Actually, the sequel, F.E.A.R 2, actually took it one further. With a sort of turret section in the sense that you got to control little mech robots things. Well, I say little, but they were quite sizable. You actually got to hop in these big, giant robot things and go about the streets and dish out absolutely insane carnage. The very brief sections only appear maybe twice in the whole game, but it was just hilarious, the carnage you could deal out in these things. Definitely one thing that F.E.A.R 2 did right. I'll give them the thumbs up for that, definitely. So yeah, that pretty much does it for Turret Syndrome level. So stay tuned for the next one. We'll try out our new particle rifle and take on another Eve, I think. That'll be plenty of fun to have. So till the next time, behave yourself.